Benji, you ready to talk about some rackets?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm so happy to compare this racket with you.
All right, let's get into it. I'm Chris, got Benji here. We're from Tennis Warehouse and Tennis Warehouse Europe. And today we're comparing the Yonex EZONE 98 versus the Tecnifibre TFight 305S. We've been hitting both these rackets a lot. We were on the reviews for these rackets. Benji, let's talk about ground strokes. What did you think about both rackets when you're hitting from the baseline, and do you have a preference?
I really like both rackets because this is really the kind of racket that I used to play with. But I would say my first thing about the Yonex one is the access of power and spin that I really feel super comfy, and I really like the fact that I can push back my opponent with a really good spin with the Yonex one. If I talk about the Tecnifibre, I also like the fact that you can more hit some flat hitting, and this is what I like because I can be aggressive from every spot of the court. So definitely, I really like the both rackets.
Yeah, I'd agree with you too. I find the Yonex the more forgiving of the two rackets. So if I'm a little bit off center or I'm a little bit late on my shot, I feel like this racket helps me a little bit more. But the TFight is very precise. It's got a really nice, crisp, clean feel. And when I'm being aggressive, maybe on an approach shot, and I really want to try and find the corner of the court, maybe flirt with the line a little bit, I find this racket rewards that. I feel more accurate with it. And so when I'm attacking, I find the TFight helps me the most. When I'm defending, maybe the free power from the EZONE is really good. Okay, when you get up to the net, and you're working on your volleys, tell me about how the rackets play for you, and again, if you have a preference.
Again, both rackets are super nice, but my preference right now is more for the Tecnifibre because I would say there is more stability with the TFight, so I felt like I can make any kind of volley under the net, even if I want to be more aggressive. So definitely the TFight I prefer compared to the Yonex one.
Yeah, again, like I mentioned from the baseline, easy power from the Yonex when you want to punch the volley deep, put the ball away. So if you've got a nice high volley and you just want to snap it away with some pace, I find super easy to do with the Yonex. And then my touch was working a little bit better with the TFight. I just felt a little bit more dialed in when I was hitting a drop volley or an angle. Both rackets are great. I think the feel is really nice and plush from both, but a bit crisper, cleaner out of the Tecnifibre. And when it comes to feel, I found like that crisper, cleaner feel pretty much on every stroke from the Tecnifibre, even though if you look at the specs, the flex is the same, but the feel is quite different. How was the feel for you?
Yeah, definitely, I completely align with you. And I would say also when you are in the net, I mean, especially for the TFight, the maneuverability also is super helpful because, like, for example, if you want to make some drop shot volley, you can find easily every spot. So really, I prefer this racket for the net.
So a little bit more maneuverable out of the Tecnifibre
exactly.
for you. And then on serve, do you have a preference on serve?
So for myself, really my favorite one is the Yonex for this case because you can find more spin, and I like to make some kick serve, you know. So then I can really find this kind of spot, especially on the left side, that I can put my opponent away, and then I have the court opened. So really my favorite one is the Yonex, and also the easy power is super helpful for my first serve. So I would prefer this racket compared to this one.
Yeah, we are, again, completely aligned here. The EZONE for me is the winner on serve. It's the one category where I find it just steps away from the TFight. They're so close in every other aspect. Just that free power. I'm not a huge server, so I'll take any free power I can get. Good access to spin. It's a very comfortable racket, so I really like it on serve. Not saying that the TFight is not a great serving racket. It is, but I think this one just offers a little bit more free power for me. Okay, on return of serve, do you have a favorite there?
So for my part, it will be the Tecnifibre. As I said before, for the net, again, the stability for me was super helpful for the return, especially when the opponent is serving a big serve. I can just block the ball and I feel super comfy. So I would say my favorite one right now is more the Tecnifibre.
Okay, for me on return, I would say it's a tie. I like both things from both rackets. So the Tecnifibre, I like the precision I get. I like that crisp and clean feel. I really like it on my backhand slice, which I'm going to use a lot on a bigger first serve that's coming up my backhand side. But when I'm teeing off on the ball, I like both of them. I'm getting good power, good pace out of both. When I'm a little off, that's when the Yonex helps me out. So when I'm stretch wide and reaching for a return. I think that's where the Yonex comes in. Okay, overall impressions of the two rackets and your overall pick out of the two, what's it gonna be?
I think it will be the Tecnifibre. As I said before, it's a really good racket, the Yonex one, because you have a good access to spin and power. But the fact that it's more maneuverable, this one, and more stable and more precise, I prefer this one. And for my type of game, it's better to play with this kind of racket. So I like both, but my favorite one will be overall the Tecnifibre.
Okay, yeah, both great rackets. I've enjoyed hitting them both too, and I reviewed both of them. I like it. Every time I go back and hit this 305S, I'm amazed by how much I like the racket. I can't believe I didn't switch to it. I went to the 300 instead, which I love. Tough for me to pick an overall, but again, just like you, I'm gonna go with the Tecnifibre here for the winner for me. And I think it's just on the flatter shots, it wins out a little bit more. When I'm being aggressive and looking to put the ball away, I just feel a little bit more confident with the Tecnifibre. I think if I hit with more spin and I was more loopy player, I'd be all about the Yonex every day of the week. But I'm, especially on the backhand, a much flatter hitter. And so for me as well, the Tecnifibre wins this one. It's been a great play test. Really, no wrong answer. Two great rackets. Thanks for watching. That's all we got for this one. For more information on these rackets or anything tennis related, be sure to go to Tennis Warehouse, Tennis Warehouse Europe, or Tennis Only.